Hello everyone. I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know, guys. Hello everyone. I hope that I'm live right now. Hello everyone. Hello, hello, hello. No issues. Okay, great. Amazing, guys. Amazing. So, how are you guys? Please do let me know. Hello everyone. Hello, hello, hello. So due to like continuously speaking the entire day, my voice has cracked a bit. I hope that you guys will be able to like handle that properly and that won't be an issue in your learning process. Okay. Hello everyone. Hello, hello. So this is our new boot camp that we are starting on backend web development, where we're learning React.js, sorry, JavaScript, Node.js, as well as we'll be building and recipe API. That is the backend itself. So that is what our aim is for this particular boot camp. Okay, guys. Hello everyone. Hello, hello. Let's all just settle in and then we'll start off with our today's boot camp. Okay, guys. Hello everyone. Hello, hello. So how was your day, guys? So we have just finished up with a React.js bootcamp Guru Prasad yesterday itself. Okay. Okay. Everything is fine. Am I right? There's no issues with the video whatsoever, guys. Please do let me know. Okay. Great. Amazing, guys. Amazing. So we're just waiting for 2 more minutes so that everyone is able to join us and then we'll get started with our class. Okay. So do let me know, guys, about yourself. So where are you guys from? Like which college are you from and which branch? Please do let me know. For example, if you are from BCA, BSc, MSc, BTech, and from BTech you are from civil, chemical, maybe CSE, IT. So please do let me know, guys, about yourself so that once we are able to introduce ourselves, then we'll move further with the same. Okay. We have students from GLA University, VIT, Vellore. We have students from BTech. Mostly people are writing BTech right over there. Mechanical, okay, great. CSC, Civil, Chemical, MCA, NIT Rourkela, Mining. Okay, great. ECE, A, Pondicherry, great. We have people from MSc as well, LPU, Silicon Institute of Technology. People are from various different colleges from across India. That's great to see so many people right over here. Mostly I'm able to see people from circuital as well as non-circuital branches as well. So that's also a good sign to see. Okay, great. Okay. So I will tell you something about myself as well. My name is Shaurasana, and I have previously worked as a data analyst, as a data scientist, software engineer, full stack engineer, machine learning engineer in companies such as Geo, Reliance, Fastnell, as well as I have taken up hiring, recruiting for almost 15 companies up till now. So I'm a recruiter as well as I'm one of the co-founders here at DevTown. I've taken up more than 500 boot camps as of this particular point of time and taught in over 50 plus colleges. I've also been a part of Google where I was in their strategic team. I was assigned with like handling the technological hand like training aspect of Google at that point of time. I was in the Google Explore ML as well. I used to go on behalf of Google to various different colleges where I used to teach topics such as data science, web development, artificial intelligence. So that is also something that I had been doing. So right now we are conducting these boot camps in partnership with Google as well as Microsoft, and it is certified as well. The entire boot camp is for free. There are no charges associated either with the boot camp nor with the certificate. So we have tried to make sure that these 7-day boot camps is for free for everybody right over here. The second thing that I need you guys to know is that the only prerequisite for this particular boot camp is your English language, understanding English itself. Because in the entire 7 days, we will be communicating only in English. Okay, there will be no other way of communication. Along with that, once this bootcamp is started, you will be learning JavaScript, you will be learning Node.js, we'll be making some APIs as well, and then we'll be moving on with the project. So you don't have to worry about it. All the different things that we are going to do, we'll be doing it in the 7 days itself. Okay. Okay. So yeah. Coming to the bootcamp itself, it will be 7 days long. Okay, we'll be starting off with JavaScript, then Node.js, a bit of Excel, Express, and then we'll be moving on to the project in the last few days. Now, as you're able to see, every bootcamp that we start, there is no prerequisite. Everything will be teaching you from scratch, that is from the utmost basics, that you are able to get a grasp of the technology itself. And we'll be ending it off with a project that you can then put up on your resume as well. Along with the same, we will also be moving further with once the bootcamp is over, you will be receiving 3 certificates. The first certificate will be from DevTown, and the rest of the 2 certificates will be from Google as well as from Microsoft. Okay, so this is a small gist of what we are currently doing. Yes, Rahul, we previously named ourselves as Shape AI, and now we have rebranded ourselves to DevTown. Yes, we'll be going it from the basics itself. Okay. Okay. So shall we start off with our today's class, guys? Please do let me know. One more thing, guys. How you will be getting the certificates, what is the criteria for attendance and everything, I'll be letting you guys know at the end of today's class. Not right now, we'll be letting you guys know at the end of today's class. Right now, in the first half, we'll try to focus much more upon the learning objectives. Okay, just start an hands-on learning process itself. And then in the second half, we don't want to waste our time. In the second half, we'll be discussing upon how your attendance will be taken up, how you will be receiving your certificates. I'll be showing you the certificates that you will be receiving as well, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, will that be fine with everybody? Please do let me know. Will that be fine with everybody? Please do let me know, guys. Now, there will be many students as well as other people as well who will be writing like some questions in the live chat. I will try my best to answer some new questions that are coming up. But if you are able to see a repeated question that you are seeing in the live chat that I have already answered, so please try to answer them properly as well. Okay, so that we are not wasting our time learning, and these students who are coming up late to the class or they haven't listened to me properly as well, their questions are also answered in the best possible way. Okay. Okay, so let's first show you guys the certificates that you will be receiving. So we have sent out the certificates just a few like days ago itself. So on LinkedIn, you can even follow us as well. It's totally up to you. This is one of the certificates via Google. This is certificate via DevTown. I'll just open it up. Give me a second. And this is the DevTown certificate, as you're able to see. This was for one of the 7 days bootcamp on real estate price prediction that we have sent out. This is the certificate on behalf of Google that has been sent to the students. Okay, as you're able to see, this is the certificate via Google. And then we are having the certificate via Microsoft. So that is this particular certificate that has been sent to the students on behalf of Microsoft itself. These are the 3 certificates that are associated with this particular bootcamp, as you're able to see. Okay, and yeah, so I think so that would be it. Now, what is the criteria of getting certificates, how to give the attendance and everything else, I will be letting you guys know at the end of today's bootcamp. Not right now. Right now I would like to start off with the bootcamp and focus upon the learning objectives itself. Okay, so let's get started right away, guys. So we'll be starting, of course, with JavaScript as a language, and let's first try to understand a bit about websites as well. So yes, you can put up this particular certificates as well as the projects on your resumes as well. Of course, that is the reason why we are giving these certificates at the end of the day. Okay. So I will just open up the live chat on my mobile phone so that I'm able to watch you guys as well. Give me a second. I've opened up the live chat on my mobile phone, so now I can watch your chats. If there is any questions or anything, I'll try my best to answer them properly as well. Okay, so let's get started, guys. So right over here, as you're able to see, how many of you are able to understand the concept of a web browser? Can somebody let me know? How many you understand like web browsers? Could you give me some examples of the web browsers that you have used up till this particular point of time, guys? Okay, could you guys give me an example of the browsers that you have used up till this particular point of time, guys? Please do let me know. So people have used Chrome, people have used Firefox, Brave. Okay, so any other like you have used, any other browsers that you have used up till now? Okay, so people have used Internet Explorer, uh, Safari, okay, Opera Mini, Microsoft Edge. So you are very familiar with these concept of browsers that exist. So Chrome, Safari, Firefox, your Microsoft Edge. Okay, then you're having your Internet Explorer. So Brave, all these are examples of different web browsers that exist. Okay, now these web browsers are not something that is very new in nature. For example, this is one of the earliest versions of the Netscape Navigator, a web browser that was present in 1990s. Okay, so as you're able to see this Netscape Navigator, this is almost a 35-year-old browser. Okay, this is a picture of a 35-year-old browser, as you're able to see, and you are able to see that most of the features haven't changed in these browsers. Okay, you had a go back to the previous page button, go to the next page button, home button, a refresh the page button, find button. You're having print something. Okay, you are having the location bar where you are able to put in your URL. Okay, the place that you want to go, so www.google.com. So you're able to put it inside the URL bar, and then you are having the body of the browser where you are able to, the window of the browser where you are able to see the entire website itself. Okay, there we are able to see the entire website itself. So that is an example of a web browser. Now this Netscape, most of you won't be even like remembering the name, that is Netscape. Most of you, the previous browser that you must be remembering would be the Internet Explorer. Netscape existed even before Internet Explorer. It was one of the most used internet browsers for almost 20 years, from 1990s to 2008. It was the most used browser in the entire world. In 2008, the Internet Explorer took over the most used browser, and then most of the people were using Internet Explorer, and then into 2016 your Chrome took over the war for the most user base. And that is what I'm trying to make you guys understand, that even though like with time the technology has changed, maybe right over here in this Netscape Navigator that was made back in like C. Right now, the best browsers that are being made in JavaScript. So according to time, like the technology is changing, but the features don't change a lot. The features of the browsers remain constant up till now. That is what I want you guys to understand. Okay. Now, what is the use of a browser? Okay, what is the use of a browser? Why do you require a browser? any website that you're visiting, any website bar none, whether it be Google, whether it be Netflix, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, maybe Wikipedia, any website that you are visiting at any point of time, they are made in only three components. Only three components at the core are basically used to make these websites. Just think about it as the concept of earth, fire and water that is being used, and air, like the airbending techniques. If you're familiar with Avatar, that was not the Avatar movie that is going to come, the Avatar anime that was existing, the Avatar the airbender or something like that. So in the same way, okay, the earth, like everybody assumes that the human body is made in like 5 different elements. Similarly, any website that you're using at the core, it is being made in 3 different elements. That is your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We will be learning about all of these in the next few slides, so you don't have to worry about it. But these are basically code. Okay, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is nothing else but files and files of code. Now, just like looking at HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files, you won't be able to understand how a website looks like, or what to do with that particular website. In the same way, that is where your browser comes into place. A browser is like an interpreter between the files, that is the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files. It compiles them and showcases you the browser that you are able to interact with. That is the major use of a browser, to be able to read these 3 files and to be able to show it to them in such a way that you are able to interact with the browser itself. Okay, let's try to understand these 3 components in general. Okay, the first one is HTML, or hypertext markup language. Okay, HTML, or hypertext markup language. It was originally created, so the internet itself was originally created to be able to help the different researchers from around the world. Okay, the professors, the researchers from around the world, to be able to share their research work with other people. Okay, now just think about it. If you are a researcher, okay, just think about it. Just let's take up an example. If you are a researcher at any point of time, you have published a paper. Okay, you have published a paper. Now you will have to cite many type of citations in that. So for example, this particular paragraph refers to this particular page from this particular book, or this particular art like line that I've written, or this particular mathematical formula that I've used in this particular research paper is referred back to this particular article from this particular newspaper, or maybe some other research paper as well. Now before internet existed, these researchers had to list down the books, they had to list down the page number, they had to list down the paragraph number inside their research, so that other people are also able to access them. Now let's think about it. You are a researcher, okay, back in UC Berkeley in US. You are a researcher in that college, and I am currently living in Bangalore. I'm also a researcher. I'm currently living in Bangalore. You wanted to share your research work with me. You wanted to share your research work with me. So you would have to first make the entire paper, then ship it out to India. Now it will take, at that point of time, you didn't had like fancy aeroplanes and everything. So you would of course have to mail it, and it will arrive to me by ship, and then by bullock cart, I don't know how. So it will take a lot of time so that it is reaching to me, maybe 2 to 3 months before I'm able to get that research paper. Now in order to understand your research paper itself, okay, in order to understand the research paper itself, there are a lot of citations in the paper. Okay, there are a lot of citations in the paper. Now I will take that research paper, I will go to the nearest library. I'll be asking my library that, okay, whatever different citations are there in this particular research paper, I need all that material. I want this particular article, I want this particular newspaper, I want this particular research paper, I want this particular book, and so on and so forth. Now, not every library will be able to have all those material available with you. Okay, not every library will have all those different material available in that particular library. Now you again have to arrange all those papers, go through them, and it is just a very lengthy process. To be able to make this sharing of resources and researches very easy, these people created the World Wide Web, or the internet that you know as of this particular point of time. Of course, like this is something that is officially saying it. There are many like conventional ways in which like people have that thought process that the army, US Army developed the internet first, and then later on like they made it public for the researchers as well. But of course, we cannot validate it. What we can know is just what the history is to offer to us. Okay, so right over here in the World Wide Web, as you are able to see, it was nothing. There was no images, there were no like fancy arts or something like that, no colors. It was very bland right over there. It just consisted of text and links. It just consisted of text and links right over there. So because it was created to basically share resources, to basically share research papers with other researchers, so they weren't like concerning themselves with different type of styling or something like that. It was meant to just share the researches. Okay, it was meant to share just the research. The research consists of just text. So as you're able to see, this was one of the first websites that they created, and you're able to see it's just the text and links that are there. Now if you are clicking on any particular link, it will take you to that particular research paper or that particular web page, okay, that exists on the internet right over there. Okay, so that is how the HTML came into being. Okay, HTML or hypertext markup language. Guys, I am able to understand that this is a bit boring, but yeah, an understanding about a good understanding about why things came into being is very important. Like, why was JavaScript required? Why do I have to learn JavaScript? Yes, of course, for getting a job, that is a very valid point. But also, like, why are we not using Java for that? Why are we not using C++ instead of JavaScript? That is something that you can only learn after you have got a good grasp of all these things. Okay, so now as you're able to see, this is one of the first websites of Microsoft that was created only in HTML. This is one of the first websites of Microsoft created only in HTML. Microsoft, a billion-dollar company, maybe even more than that. As you're able to see, the website just has text. It has no color, no animation, nothing like that. It just has some links and text on its screen. And this is what HTML was able to provide to everybody. It is only able to provide a structure. Okay, it is only able to provide a structure to your website, some text, some information, only a structure that is there. Okay, for those who are getting bored, guys, if you don't want to continue, you can leave. My basic job is to go from the utmost basics. Okay, I take that into mind, because if you don't have a very strong foundation, the building is never going to be built. The building will be something like, if I'm blowing on it, it will just fall off. So in an interview, your foundations are the most strongest thing that you can get. That is the reason why I like to start from the utmost basics, giving you a grasp of like the almost 80 years of history of web development in just like 20 minutes. And then yes, we'll be starting off with the practicals as well. I hope that you will be able to like handle just for 20 minutes itself. Okay, so as over here, you are able to see a billion-dollar company. The website does not look appealing. You need to make sure your website looks appealing. You need to make sure that when a customer is landing on the website, it is something that he or she likes to use at the end of the day. And of course, these companies, they need to make money. To make money, you need to make sure your clients are staying on the website itself. That is the reason why, like after HTML, that was only able to provide a structure to the website, just like your bones are able to provide a structure to your website. Similar to that, HTML was able to provide a structure to your website as well. That is where CSS comes into place. CSS or cascading style sheets made sure that your website looked appealing to the users. This is the official Yahoo website back in 1998. As you're able to see, okay, it looks a bit more approachable, a bit more systematically aligned, has some images, has some colors to it, and you are able to see and use the website and not feel as if like, why am I using this? Like it is just not good. Okay, so CSS or cascading style sheets, okay, made sure that styling was applied to your website. What do I mean by styling, guys? Styling basically means how good your websites look like. Okay, so think about it in your own body, your hair, your beard, your makeup, your clothes that you're wearing, that basically makes your appearance look good at the end of the day. It's just not about your inner beauty as of this particular point of time. This is 2022. You need to make sure that you also look good and approachable. So that is where the CSS comes into place. It's make sure that your website looks good and appealing to the user. Okay, now let us try to understand where does JavaScript come into place. So I have made a good GIF, if I'm able to get it for you guys. Let me just see if I have the GIF with me. Okay, so where did I put the GIF? Give me a second, guys. Okay, I think so. This was this. As we're able to see, so HTML was able to provide a structure to your website, the text, the how the website should look like, all those kind of structural things, just like the bones in your body is able to do it. The CSS was able to provide the presentation or the appearance of your website, how well your website basically looked like. And then came JavaScript. JavaScript provides the dynamism or the action that enabled you to be able to interact with your website as well. Okay, that basically gave you a thing to be able to interact with your website. So basically clicking on a button, changing the color of the website, some animations that you want to put right over there, some kind of like, for example, when you're scrolling down in an Apple website, the animations that come up, that is basically done by JavaScript. The CSS and all those basically are used to handle the animation as well as the images, the color, the text, and all those kind of stuff. And that is where the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are able to create their demarcation right over there. So we created this awesome example using Deadpool animation to be able to make you guys understand about the importance of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, whatever we have talked about, let's first try to understand why JavaScript came into being. Okay, let's try to understand why JavaScript came into being. Before JavaScript existed, your website, any website that you're using at any point of time, has major two components. Okay, I'm talking about like major. Right now the website has like a ton of different components, but just taking up like making things easier for you guys to understand, let us assume this, that the website previously had only two components. The one that you are able to see on your screen, okay, this is your browser right over here. Okay, the one that you are able to see on your screen, that is your browser right over here, and that is basically called as the front end. Okay, that is basically called as the front end of the website, that what you are able to see. For example, when you are going to a restaurant, the restaurant that you are able to see around you, where you are able to sit, where you're able to eat, the decorations, the curtains, that is basically the front end of the restaurant, where the user is able to interact with it. And then comes the backend. The backend is what we are going to learn in this particular bootcamp. Okay, so don't worry about it if you're not able to understand it right now, because we are going to spend the next 7 days understanding about the backend itself. But before we are able to do that, we need to understand how the internet works. Okay, because why do we require a backend? That is the major question. And why does the backend, like, we need to learn JavaScript for the backend? Okay, so the front end and the backend. Now the backend basically existed. Okay, the backend basically existed on like servers. Servers are something that are basically computers. Okay, servers are basically something that are computers. I will just show you an image of a server as well, so that you guys are able to relate to it easily. Let me just search for servers, to images. So this is how servers look like. As you're able to see, just lines and lines of nothing else but computers. Each of these servers cost about like 3+ lakhs. Okay, so servers are a very, very, very like costly item that different companies have to maintain. Okay, so now think about servers as nothing else but the kitchen. Okay, if the front end is the front end of your restaurant, then the back end is basically your kitchen. Now the kitchen isn't accessible to the normal user. The normal user cannot just enter into the kitchen itself. He is only able to interact with the chairs, the lightings, the fans, and whatever he is able to see around him inside a restaurant, and that is the front end. But the kitchen, where the item is being cooked, where these like different spices and different materials are being stored, that is basically the back end. That is where the entire business logic of your entire website lies. Now this backend isn't accessible to the users. You cannot sit right over here and try to access the backend. Only the people who are working in that company are able to access those backend and basically create something out of it. Okay, so that is the basic concept of the backend. Now in the early days back in 1980s, 1970s, what happened was, for example, if I want to put up, let's say I want to convert kg to, let's say I want to convert kg to grams. Okay, that is what I want to do. I want to convert kg. I want to do a unit conversion. I want to convert kgs to grams. Okay, so for that, what I had to do was I had to put in my kg right over here. So whatever I wanted to convert to grams, I would have to click on submit right over here. Now this data will then go to the backend. Okay, this data will then go to the backend, where it will just, all the computation, all the mathematics that goes on, all the kind of business logic that you want to apply happened only in the backend. Okay, you were only able to see a website in the front end. Whatever interaction that you had to do, whatever computation that you had to do, you had to send the entire stuff to the backend. So data, for example, I want to convert 20 kgs to grams. So I have to enter 20 kgs in the front end. It will send 20 as a unit back to my backend, where it will be doing the conversion, that is 20 into 1000, and then 20,000 will be sent back, that will be shown to my screen. This is what happened way before JavaScript existed. Similarly for animations as well, if you wanted to show any animation on your website, it wasn't possible, because every time you will have to send like the images in the back end, where it will be processing and it will be sending it back to the front end, and it just took a lot of time to load the websites. So Netscape, so the founder of Netscape, that is Mark Anderson. Okay, Mark Anderson right now is one of the biggest investors in the entire world. He is one of the leading investors in Google, Slack, Facebook, any big company, Apple, any big company that you are able to dream of, any IT company that you know of. Okay, he is one of the biggest investors in those companies, and he was also the founder of Netscape as well. So he approached someone named as Brendan Eich. Okay, he approached someone named as Brendan Eich with one problem statement in mind, that I don't want to do this. Okay, I don't want to like do everything in the backend. Okay, I want to make sure that, for example, if I want to do a unit conversion, it is happening on the front end itself. Okay, I'm putting in my particular like 20 kgs, and right over there the calculation is happening and showing me the results itself. This is called as client side rendering. It's called as client side rendering. Okay, why client side? Because you are the client. It is rendering, it is doing the computation in front of you. It is not taking the data to the backend, doing the computation and sending the results back to you. It is doing the computation in your computer, in the browser itself, and showing you the results. So they needed a very lightweight language that they could use to be able to do that. So they contacted Brendan Eich. This is the guy, as you're able to see, like proper nerd, as you're able to see. He created JavaScript in just 10 days. He created JavaScript in just 10 days right over there. Okay, now even like when you're learning JavaScript to its full extent, even today, it takes a minimum of 15 days. It takes a minimum of 15 days to be able to be good in JavaScript. Okay, and he created that language in just 10 days. So you are able to understand how great this particular person was. The problem with this particular language, initially it was named as LiveScript. It was not named as JavaScript. It was named as LiveScript. Okay, after that, like Microsoft tried to recreate JavaScript, like LiveScript, on their own, and they named it as JS script. Okay, they named it as JScript. Now again, like there was like the European Union, like always tried to make sure that all the names are standardized and everything, so they renamed like LiveScript and JScript to ECMAScript, or you must have heard about ES5 or ES6. So the European Union basically gave it a new name, but it is usually known to us, all these names are of the same, that is JavaScript. All these names are of the same, that is JavaScript. JavaScript has no relation. So one of the main questions that people ask me is JavaScript related to Java? Both of them are programming languages, but they are not related to each other. It was just a marketing tactic. At that point of time, everybody was learning Java. And between 1980s and 1990s, everybody was learning Java. So they just, like, because nobody will be learning LiveScript if it's not popular, so they renamed it to JavaScript so that everybody thought that it is related to Java and starts learning and using it. So they were able to create that hype for the language itself. So again, Java and JavaScript are as related to each other as apple and pineapple are. There is no relationship between Java and JavaScript whatsoever. Let us look at what happens. Okay, let us look at what happens if we go on our website and just remove everything. So let's take up Netflix. Okay, let's take up Netflix as an example. So I don't know if I will be able to sign into it or not. So yeah, I'm not able to sign into it. Okay, so this is our Netscape Netflix website that you are able to see right over here. Okay, every day the classes will be for 1 to 1.5 hours. Okay, the classes will be for 1 to 1.5 hours because we only have 7 days. We have a lot to learn, so that is the reason why classes will be for 1.5 hours, guys. So please keep that in mind when you're coming to the classes. Again, we are here to learn as much as possible because knowledge is everything at the end of the day. Okay, so if you are coming to this particular website, I'm just using one of the Chrome extensions to disable CSS. So this is how Netflix looks like without CSS. This is how Netflix look like without any CSS on it. Okay, so as you're able to see, this is how Netflix looked like without CSS. Let's go to some other website. Let's go to Instagram. Okay, so with CSS, you are able to see that this is how it looks like. So let me just open up my profile right over here. So this is how it looks like with CSS. Now, if I'm removing CSS from our website, as you're able to see, this is how Instagram looks without any CSS. Now, what if I'm removing JavaScript? Okay, let's go to YouTube. Okay, let's go to YouTube. Let's go to the channel right over here. Okay, let's go to your channel. Okay, as you're able to see, if I'm removing JavaScript, okay, let's go back to the extension and I will be removing the JavaScript right over here. Okay, I will just take it out. Okay, so as you're able to see, I've removed the JavaScript from right over here. And if I'm reloading the page, even the website won't even load up without JavaScript. Okay, the website won't even load up without JavaScript. Okay, similar to that, if you're going with something else, let's say you're going with Instagram. Okay, Instagram also won't even load up without JavaScript. If you're going to Netflix, let's say we are going to Netflix gives you an error. Looks like you have disabled JavaScript. Please enable JavaScript to restore full page functionality. Let us take up another example. Google. We're going to Google and searching for, let's say, DevTown. You are able to see that this does not look like the normal Google that you used to use. Okay, this does not look like the normal Google that you used to use. It looks a bit different from any point of time. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to make you guys understand, that without JavaScript, 80% of your websites won't even load up. They won't even load up at the end of the day. Okay, so that is the problem. Okay, so that is the reason why we need to learn JavaScript, because it is one of the most used programming language, especially in web development. So the first most used programming language is JavaScript. The second most used programming language is Python. Okay, so JavaScript is basically used for the backend web development, front end web development, and because of its versatility, okay, because it's so versatile that it can be used for both backend and front end. That is the reason why JavaScript is used in every single company that you know of. Every company that you know of. You can think about any company in your mind and they will be using JavaScript somewhere or the other. That is how powerful JavaScript is. Okay, so now that we have done with a small understanding about it, a small intro about JavaScript, should we get started with the coding as well? Please do let me know, guys. Okay. Should we get started with the coding as well? Please let me know, like a hands-on coding. Like now I'm done with the history lecture. Okay, I've told you guys almost everything that I want you guys to know before we are able to start off with backend web development. So can we start off with learning JavaScript, guys? Please do let me know. Okay, so yeah, so the extension that I currently use is called as the web developer extension, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so you can just search for it. Okay, you can do a Google search, web developer extension. Okay, so you'll be able to get this particular, okay, need to disable JavaScript. Okay, so as you're able to see from right over here, you will be able to see the web developer Chrome extension, and you can just like download it for Chrome and just like experiment it with everything that you want to do. Okay, so yeah, now once we have done with that, let's get started with JavaScript. Now again, like I told you guys, I take everything from the utmost basics. Okay, so please be very patient with me. Don't say that, okay, so why are we not using IDE, why we are not using this, why we are not doing that, because we are going to take a baby steps. A baby cannot climb a mountain. Okay, it takes time. It will first learn how to crawl, then how to walk, then how to run, then how to climb, and then only he or she will be able to practice rock climbing and then go to the mountain to climb Mount Everest. It cannot just do that from the instant. Okay, so we are going to start off with the utmost basics, guys. Again, for the project, you don't have to worry about it. I will be making sure that you are able to do the project from your own mobile phones as well. You won't require a laptop or a desktop to be able to make the project. I will make sure of it. I want you guys to practice as much as possible. Okay. Okay. So shall we start, guys? Amazing. Let me just open up a new tab right over here and we'll be doing our coding inside of this. Now, this is your web browser. Why we are doing our coding in web browser itself is because JavaScript as a language can only be run by like from the scratch itself, like without installing anything inside the browser. Think about the browser as a jail. Okay, think about the browser as the planet Earth. It only has the atmosphere. It only has an atmosphere around it in which the human beings can live and function as well. Similar to that, browsers as well have the all the tools and things that are necessary for JavaScript to function. Of course, we will be liberating JavaScript outside the norms of this particular browser within a few days, but for just the beginning process to be able to understand JavaScript, we will be doing most of our JavaScript based learning process inside of the web browser itself. Once we've opened up, now one more thing that I want to suggest to you guys: do not code along with me. Okay, usually people say the exact opposite, but yeah, do not code along with me. Why I'm saying that is I want you guys to focus as much as possible to what I'm teaching right over here. If you want to create notes, you can definitely do that. Okay, but do not code along with me. Okay, we will try our level best to be able to understand every single detail. We'll be starting off from the utmost basics, so you don't have to worry about it. You just have to right click on anywhere on the website. Okay, you just have to right click anywhere on the website itself and then select inspect. Okay, and then select inspect from right over here. Okay, from the inspect you will be able to see a lot of different things opening up down below your website itself. I want you guys to click on console. Okay, I want you guys to click on console right over here. Okay, so on the console itself, you will be having, okay, we'll be coding right over here. We'll be coding right over here on the console itself. Okay, so we will be starting any programming language. So just most of you might be Indians, some of you might be from outside India as well. Okay, so there is one thing that we consider very auspicious doing. Anytime we Indians start off with doing something new, okay, or doing something for the very first time, we have some curd and sugar before doing that, and we think that's very auspicious. In the same way, when you're starting out with learning a new programming language, okay, the programmers also start out with just one thing that we consider to be very auspicious, that is writing hello world in that particular programming language. Okay, so let's get started with that, guys. Okay, so we'll start with writing hello world in JavaScript. For those who are not able to see the screen properly, I'm able to understand that you are using YouTube for the very first time. So don't worry about it, guys. You can just click on the three dots on the top right corner of your video itself. From there you can choose the quality. Okay, you can choose the quality and move it up to 1080p or even 720p, and then you will be able to see everything very clearly. Okay, so to be able to write hello world inside our browser, what we are using JavaScript, what we are going to do is we are going to select console and we'll write our code right over here inside the console itself. We are going to write alert, and then in parentheses we are going to write hello world. Okay, as simple as that. We are going to write alert hello world. Now alert is an inbuilt function in JavaScript that basically creates an alert. Okay, what do you understand by an alert in normal English? I'm not taking, so whenever I'm asking you this particular question, I'm taking into account that you don't know programming at all. I'm asking you as a normal human being. If somebody knows English, what will be the meaning of alert? Can somebody let me know what will be the meaning of alert, guys? Can somebody let me know? To be warned, a pop-up message, okay, a warning of some kind, okay, to be aware, a warning, caution. So that is the basic meaning of alert. So right over here, I want to alert the user by saying hello world. I want, so basically what JavaScript is trying to do right over here is, the meaning of this little sentence is alert basically means to say. Okay, alert basically means to say I want to say this. What do you want to say? So that will be put inside the parenthesis as hello world. Okay, that will be put inside the parenthesis as hello world. And then just like in English you are ending a sentence with a full stop, in programming you are ending the entire line of program, that okay, this is the line that I want to execute, by a semicolon at the end. So as soon as I'm pressing enter after writing this particular line of code, as soon as I'm pressing enter, you are able to see that I'm getting an alert, I'm getting a warning, I'm getting a pop-up message on my screen saying hello world. Okay, are you guys able to see this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to see this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to see this? Please do let me know, guys. Amazing, amazing, amazing. The next thing, so once we have learned about alert, okay, one of the inbuilt functions in Python, sorry, in JavaScript, okay, the next thing that we want to know is another inbuilt function that is present in JavaScript, how to take an input from the user. Okay, that is the question. Now that we have shown something to the user, okay, we have shown an alert to the user, what about taking an input from the user as well? For that, we are having another inbuilt function in JavaScript called as the prompt function. Okay, it's called as the prompt function. So prompt. So what do you understand by prompt in normal English? In normal English, guys, what do you understand by the word prompt? What is the definition of prompt in normal English? Can somebody let me know? Can somebody let me know what is the normal meaning in English about the word prompt? Is my live chat a bit slow or something like that? Is Netscape sponsoring DevTown? No, Shore is basically sponsoring the coffee. Okay. Prompt. Okay, so let's just search for it on internet. Okay, meaning. So the CEO has come up to the meeting right now. Hey Suzy, high five, high five. छोड़ दीजिए, यहाँ पे अंदर डाल दीजिए. ताकि भैया कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं. Okay, so prompt, as you are able to see right over here, is cause or bring about, encourage. Okay, so to basically tell the user something. Okay, to basically prompt something to the user. Okay, to basically tell the user about something. That is the basic meaning of prompt right over there. Okay, So as you're able to see, we want to tell the user to write his name. We want to ask the user, we want to prompt the user to tell his name right over here. Okay, so when I'm running this little line of code, it again gives me an alert. But this time it's a bit different. Okay, this time it's a bit different. So slow mode is on. So okay, so you guys are not doing any kind of mischievous things on the live chat. So I will just reduce the whatever that is called as. Shit, where is that? Okay, we'll reduce this to, let's say, 20 seconds. I think so that should be more than sufficient, so that you guys are also able to write everything properly. So as you're able to see right over here, I'm able to put my input as well in this alert box. Okay, not just the not just getting an alert, but I'm also able to give my input as well. So right over here, it's asking what is your name. So my name is Shaurya Sinha. So I'll just write Shaurya Sinha right over here, and as you're able to see, we are getting Shaurya Sinha printed on our screen as well. Okay, we are able to see Shaurya Sinha printed on our screen as well. Okay, so we are able to show something to the user, and we are able to take an input from the user as well. We are able to do both the things. We are able to show something to the user, and we are able to take an input from the user as well. Okay, so that is the use of the prompt. Are you guys able to understand up till here? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand up till here? Please let me know. So what is this undefined? That's a great question, Akshay. We will be answering that in tomorrow's video, because to be able to understand why we are getting undefined, we need to understand what are functions and how we are able to, how does functions basically work. So just wait till tomorrow. Okay, once you have learned functions, then we will be able to understand it very easily. Okay. Okay, great. And please guys, don't worry about it. Okay, everything, like you're able to see, we will be going very smoothly, and we'll be trying to understand every single thing properly. Don't worry about it. Okay, the next thing that we need to understand is, what about the Shaurya Sinha? I took the input from the user. But how can I use that particular input? I want to use that input as well. I'm like, how can I access this particular Shaurya Sinha? How can I use it at a later point of time? Okay, so there you are having something called as variables into place. Okay, there's a particular concept called as variables into place. Let us try to understand the concept of variables by taking up an example. Okay, so this is an example that I give in every single bootcamp. I'll try my best so that from the next bootcamp, I'm able to come up with a better example for you guys. So those who are from my previous bootcamp, they will be easily able to relate a lot. The mini landlady. Okay, so let's try to understand this. Okay, so right over here, I'm just creating a. So you are a new software engineer. Okay, this is you right over here. You're having spectacles as well, nose and mouth. You are a new software engineer that has recently moved to Bangalore. Okay, you are a new software engineer that is basically shifted to Bangalore as of this particular point of time. Okay, so now this particular software engineer, as of you are earning, your salary is a lot. Okay, software engineers earn a lot. So your monthly salary is, let's say, 1 lakh Indian rupees. Okay, your monthly salary is 1 lakh Indian rupees right over here. The next thing that you want to do is you will be taking a house on rent. Of course, you're shifting to a particular new place. You want to take up a house for rent as well. So your rent in Bangalore is a bit less right now. It has gone up through the roof, but compared to the other cities, it's comparatively on the cheaper end. So you are having a 1 BHK that you have rented out for 15,000 rupees. Okay, you have rented out a 1 BHK for 15,000 rupees. Again, coming to a new particular place to commute, you are buying up a bike. Okay, for you and your girlfriend maybe. Okay, so you're buying up a bike. Of course, you are not going to pay the entire thing directly. So you are taking up a bike on EMI. So the EMI of that bike is also 15,000 rupees per month. Okay. The next thing that you are having is, after your salary, rent, EMI, of course, you will be going to the gym as well. 99.99% of the software engineers take up a gym subscription. Okay, I'm not saying that they go to the gym regularly, but they definitely take up a gym subscription. Okay, so right over here, gym. Okay, you are having a gym subscription for, like, say, 5,000 rupees a month. right over here. Okay, so all these are basically your expenses, your salary and everything. Now you don't, and of course you are a taxable person, so the rate of your tax, let's say it's 0.3%, I mean 30%. Okay, so it's 0.3, that is your taxation. Okay, as you are falling into a tax bracket as well. So now you don't want to basically do this every single month. You don't want to sit and then like pay your rent, pay your EMI, pay your gym membership fees, calculate your taxes, calculate your savings. So you are a programmer, dude. You are a programmer. You love like automation at the end of the day. So what you will do is you will create a program. You will create a program that is able to do all these different things for you. Okay, so again, you're an excellent programmer. You even got a job. So you started writing this particular entire program. You wrote 10,000 lines of code. Okay, you wrote 10,000 lines of code that was able to do all that for you. So that is 10,000 lines of code that was able to do all these different things for you guys itself. Okay, so you need to understand. Now I'm able to understand that Apurvi Rag Garg is very smart. Okay, and he or she is able to understand everything very clearly. So Apurvi, just for you, JavaScript, web development, language, I think so that is more than sufficient for the boot camp as well. I've made you especially understand everything in just like 3 words. So that is as short as it can go. So then yeah, you can leave. There's no issues in that. Otherwise, if you still want to continue and study, it's totally up to you. I'm not charging anything. I'm not earning anything out of this. So I don't care about it as well. For me, it's my teaching is my passion. I want to make sure that whatever I'm teaching, it is reaching out to every single student who is coming to the live session properly, and he or she, irrespective of what his or her age is able to understand all the concepts clearly. So for you, great job. Move on ahead. I'm also able to understand everything. Okay, great. So right over here, you wrote these 10,000 lines of code that is able to do every single thing properly. Okay, so for example, you want to calculate your tax. So you will be doing something like your salary minus your rent. Okay, so that is tax deductible, minus your EMI, so that is also tax deductible right over here, and then you are multiplying it by 0.3, that will give you the tax right over here. You want to calculate your savings as well. To calculate your savings, what you will be doing is you will be writing 1 lakh rupees minus your expenses, that is your rent, minus EMI, minus gym membership, and then of course for the savings you are also going to subtract the taxes as well. So again, you will have to calculate your taxes, that is 1 lakh minus 15,000 multiplied by 0.3. So you have to do all these different things, all these different calculations again and again every single time that you have to do. Okay, so yeah, see, I just don't look like a Kariminati. Like I'm like a fat, very tall version of Kariminati, but I also like to roast people. So I think so with this face that goes on characteristically. Okay, so right over here, as you're able to see, you have to do all these calculations every single time. Now you're like, hey, dude, I just have to write this particular code for once. It is not a big deal. So I've written these 10,000 lines of code. Now it's fine. This will be able to do all my calculations, all my taxes and everything for me. I don't have to do anything. Now your landlady is a big meanie. Okay, your landlady is a big meanie. She came to know that you are a software engineer. Okay, this is your landlady right over here. Let me draw her face. Okay, so she came to know that you are actually a software engineer. She's like, dude, software engineer at Microsoft, he will be earning a lot, he will be loaded. So I'm just going to tell him that I'm increasing the rent for him or her. Okay, basically whoever, him, her, they, whatever you want to identify yourself as. So she increased the rent for you from 15,000 to let's say 20,000. Now you like the society, you like the place that you are living in. You don't want to go out and about, pay another brokerage and everything. So you're like, okay, I will just raise my rent from 15,000 to 20,000. You don't have a choice. Okay, so now the big problem is you have to go back through your 10,000 lines of code. Okay, you have to go through your 10,000 lines of code once again and update everywhere wherever you have used rent. Okay, wherever you have used the rent 15,000, you have to update it to 20,000. Okay, now some of the people in the live chat will be very smart. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty easy. I will just do a control F and control R, find and replace. I'll find all the numbers that are 15,000 and replace it by 20,000. As simple as that. Why are you explaining this for learning variables? Okay, now my question to you is, your rent is also 15,000, your EMI is also 15,000. If you are doing control F and control R as find and replace, then all your EMI would also be updated to 20,000. Am I right or wrong? All your EMI would also be updated to 20,000. Am I right or wrong, guys? Please do let me know. Again, guys, one more thing. Okay, the classes are for 1.5 hours long. Okay, so for those writing in the live chat that it's for 1 hour, I know that you are not interested to study, and I'm not here for you as well. Okay, I'm only for those students who want to do something with their life. Okay, my aim is to get students into different companies. I've got almost 4,800 students placed in big companies. Okay, so again, I'm not here for you. Okay, great. So yes, that's absolutely right. All our EMI will also be updated to 20,000 rupees, and we don't want to pay another 5,000 rupees. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to go through the 10,000 lines of code line by line, try to find out the 15,000 everywhere, try to identify whether this 15,000 was for rent or was it for the EMI. You will have to identify that as well. Once you have identified that, okay, this 15,000 is for rent, then you have to update it to 20,000. Now, every single time, whether if your EMI is being changing or your rent is being changed, you will have to do this. You have to go through the entire 10,000 lines of code again and again, and this is a huge pain in the ass. You don't want to do that. Okay, you don't want to do this shitty type of work. You're a programmer, for fuck's sake. Okay, so what you will be doing is you will be using the concept of nicknaming someone. Whenever you forget the name of a particular person, for me it's like very clear. Now one of my friends had a very high power in his eyes. Okay, very high, like it was like, I don't know, like 7, 8 or 9 or something like that in the negative. So when I was small, we used to call him as Andha. Okay, so he was a Bengali person. We used to call him as Andha. The entire school used to call him as Andha, or a blind person. Okay, so even today, I don't know his real name. Okay, but if anybody shouted from the end of the entire room that Andha, okay, come here, everybody knew who he or she was pointing to. Okay, so that is the power of nicknames. Okay, that is the power of nicknames. Okay, so it's the same thing you have to do right over here. You have to assign a nickname to every single number that is currently present right over here. For example, you are assigning the nickname of salary to 1 lakh rupees. Okay, you're assigning a nickname of rent to 15,000 rupees, a nickname of EMI to 15,000 rupees, a nickname of gym to 5,000 rupees, a nickname of rate to 0.3. So now instead of writing this as just numbers, you can write it as tax is equals to salary minus rent minus EMI multiplied by rate. Similarly, you can write savings, SAVE, is equals to sal minus rent minus EMI minus gym. Okay, minus tax. Okay, because now you are creating another nickname for this equation. You're creating another nickname for this equation. Now, if your landlady comes into the picture and asks you to basically update your rent to 20,000 rupees, okay? If he or she asks you to update your rent to 20,000 rupees, you don't have to go back to the 10,000 lines of code, because now your code looks like this. Now your code looks like this. You are using nicknames instead of numbers. You are using nicknames instead of numbers. You just have to come to these particular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just have to come to these particular 5 lines of code, and you just have to update the rent from 15,000. Just have to change the nickname of the value of rent from 15,000 to 20,000. And inside your code, everywhere, wherever you have used the rent as a word, it automatically gets updated to 20,000. You don't have to go through the 10,000 lines of code again. You never have to see through them again as well. What happened to? So the CEO is also getting restless. So the real owner of this company, okay, DevTown, I will help you guys meet her as well. So we are a very female-led company with the leader being female, and yeah, she's cute as hell as well. So we will be meeting her as well. Okay, at the end of the bootcamp, not right now. Let's focus upon the studying aspect. So this nicknaming is a concept that is called as variable in every single programming language. Any programming language that you're using, at the end of the day, you will be learning about these variables. Now, to create a variable in JavaScript, the process is extremely simple. You have to start off with writing var. That is basically declaring that you want to create a variable. Okay, the name of the variable, whatever you want to name it. Let's say that we want to name it as rent. So rent is equals to, and then the value that you want it to be assigned to. Okay, the value that you want it to be assigned to. So for example, the value of rent is, let's say, 15,000. Let's say the value of rent is 15,000. So this is how you create a variable called as rent with the value of 15,000 right over here. Now you can imagine this. Okay, if you are not able to imagine how rent exists, you can just think about this particular code as a box. Think about it as a box called as rent with a coin of value 15,000 inside of it. With a value of 15,000 inside of it, just for the visualization purpose. Okay, so let us look at it from a coding point of view as well. Now this particular value, this shortest sinha that had been returned back to us from the prompt, okay, that had been returned back to us from the prompt right over there, you are easily able to see. Guys, again, the classes are for 1.5 hours long. There are a lot many number of students who are here to learn. Okay, so if you are not here to learn, you can pretty sure fuck out of the class. Okay, if you are here to learn, then focus upon what I'm teaching. If you have any doubts, put it in the live chat. I will try my best to answer them properly, but don't write attendance in the live chat. Okay, those students who are here just for the attendance, please don't disturb the other students who are here for learning purpose. Of course, I will try to make sure that the classes are as entertaining as possible, because I also understand that sometimes this coding blindly learning, it gets boring, and we are not here to be bored. We want to learn a lot. We want to enjoy the learning process as well. But for those who are here just to make other students suffer for your incapability of learning, then please do go ahead and just leave the class out. Just message me separately. I'll send you the certificates. But if you are here, please focus upon the learning process. Of course, we'll definitely have a lot of blast as well, but don't time is over or attendance in the live chat. I will decide when the time is over, not you, because I'm giving my time right over here. You are here to learn. You are the student. You cannot leave the class before the class is actually over. I decide when I want you guys to leave. Okay, so focus upon the class. We'll be learning a lot, and like you are able to see, I'm trying to make sure that everything we are able to go on from as low as possible, as beginning as possible. Okay, so please try to make sure that you are able to pay attention. Okay, so right over here, you want to save this particular name that you are able to utilize later on. So what we are going to create is, we are going to create a variable var called as name. Okay, we will create a var called as name, and we'll have the prompt. What is your name? Okay, so what we are doing right over here is whatever value is being returned to us, whatever value the user is basically inputting right over there, whatever value the user is giving as an input in the prompt, that will get saved into a box called as name. That will get saved into the box called as name. Like I said, var name is equals to something. That basically means you're creating a box called as name, and that value that is getting saved right over here is the value that you're getting from the user itself. So let's run this little line of code. Let's take up our name as, let's say, SUZI, Suzy. Okay, and that's the name of our CEO as well. Okay, so right over here, it is getting saved into a box called as name. Now, if I want to use that particular name, if I want to just print it out, so I don't want, so whenever you are using alert, okay, what happens whenever you are using alert? An alert will basically show you a pop-up, okay, on the website itself. Anyone that is basically coming to your website will be able to see that particular pop-up. Anyone coming to your website will be able to see that pop-up. You don't want users to see a message every single time you want to do something. Every single time when you're going to a particular website, it's like pop up, pop up, pop up, pop up. You will get so frustrated with that. You don't want to do that. So there is one more inbuilt function in JavaScript that is called as console.log. Okay, that you can use to basically write something down in the console itself. This place where you're basically writing your code, that is called as a console. And this console, as you're able to see, is hidden. Okay, the user is not able to see the console normally. He has to go into inspect and then go to the console to be able to see it. So naturally, whatever you are writing in the console stays hidden before the eyes of a normal user. So right now what we are going to do is we are going to log out the name Susie inside the console. So what we are going to do is we are going to write, okay, we are going to write console. That is the place that we are writing our code. What do you mean by log? Can somebody let me know? What is the meaning of the word log, log? Now in normal English, guys, in normal English, what is the meaning of log? To write something down, to create a report, to create like data entries for something, to log something down. Not the word, okay, logging something down, okay. So that is the meaning right over here as well. You want to write something inside the console. You want to write something inside the console, okay, to record something. So we want to record the name, okay, the variable that is name. Now name, whenever you are using the variable that we created, var name is equals to prompt what is your name. So that basically contains, that box basically contains the word Susie inside of it. Now whenever I'm using name right over here, it refers to the value that it contains. It is a nickname for Susie. It's a nickname for Susie that we have created. So if I'm running this particular line of code, okay, if I'm pressing enter and running this particular line of code, as you're able to see on the console itself, we are getting the word Susie printed out. On the console, we are able to get Susie printed out on the console. Hey Susie, you're getting famous. I'll see. Okay, so are you guys able to understand up till here, guys? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand up till here? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand up till here? Please do let me know. Great. So the next thing that we need to know is there are different data that are present in your normal JavaScript. Okay, one of those data is, let's say, Shaurya. So this is basically called as a string. Okay, this is basically called as a string. Why a string? Because a string is like a thread. Okay, so it's a thread of characters. The thread of characters, and hence the name string right over here. Then your numbers such as 2 or 2.5, all these will be referred to as numbers. 2, 2.5, 2, 3.14, all these, both normal whole numbers as well as integers as well as your decimal point numbers will be called as numbers in JavaScript. Okay, and then there is the true and the false values. The true and the false values are basically called as your Boolean values. Okay, so these are the three values that are present right over here. These are the okay, what are you not able to understand in this? Can somebody let me know? Console wala samajh nahi aaya. Okay, so console, the place where you're writing your code right over here, the place where you're writing your code right over here is called as the console. How did you open that up? Right click. So right now you're not able to see the console. As a normal user on any website that you're going, you will not be able to see the console directly. You have to do a right click. You have to go into the inspect option. From there, you have to select the console, and only then you will be able to see the console itself. Whenever you're writing something like an alert, it comes as a pop-up that is visible to the user. It comes as a pop-up that is visible to the user itself. Sometimes you want to write something down that is not visible to the user, that is basically hidden from the user, but you are able to access it, and that is where the console comes into place. That is where the console comes into place. So if you want to write something to the console, you don't want an alert, you don't want to show it to be showed to the user itself, you want it to be noted down only like hidden from the user, but you are able to see it. Then you want to write something in the console itself. To be able to write something in the console, you have to do console dot log. Okay, you want to write something down in the console. Logging is basically writing something, reporting something. Okay, it's called as console. Okay, so that is called as a logging. Okay, right over here you want to do console dot log, and then name, that is the variable that we created. Name is equals to prompt, var name is equals to prompt, what is your name. So name is basically your variable that we created that contains the value Susie inside of it. So if I'm pressing enter right over here, okay, you are able to see Susie on your screen. Are you guys able to understand now? Are you guys able to understand? If you're not able to understand something, write exactly what you're not able to understand. You just don't write I'm not able to understand, because I'm not able to understand what you are not able to understand. There's a lot of understands in this particular statement, but I hope that you understand. Okay. So right over here, apply whatever question that you're having, write it exactly. What is the console? This particular place where you're writing the code, this is called as the console itself. This is where you're able to write your code line by line. Okay. Those who were not able to understand early on, are you guys able to understand it right now? What is the difference between var and let? Also, do we need to mention the data type? No, you don't need to mention the data type, Twinkle. And Twinkle will be understanding var and let at a later point of time, not right now. We are just getting started. Why undefined? We'll be learning it tomorrow after we have learned about functions. Okay. Again, why we are getting undefined right over here? We are only able to understand that after we have learned about functions properly, how to build your own custom functions. That we'll be doing tomorrow. Okay. How is Susie printed? So we created a var name. We learned about variables itself, guys. We learned about variables. So we created a variable called as name. Inside of that prompt, we gave the entry as Susie. So name now contains the value Susie inside of it. Name basically contains the value Susie inside of it. Okay, I'm not calling you. Okay, so you can just sit down. Okay, great. Now that you have understood that particular aspect of it, what was I doing after that? Okay, so yeah, the data types. So there are three major data types that are present in JavaScript. The first one is strings. Okay, that we have seen anything between a double in quotation marks or a single quotation marks will be treated as a string. So this is a string right over here. You can have spaces, you can have numbers, special characters inside of the string itself. That is called as string. Okay, similarly, you are having numbers. Okay, 3, 2.5, all these decimal point numbers, normal numbers are basically called as numbers themselves. And then you are having the true and the false values. True and false values that are called as the Boolean values. Okay, that are called as the Boolean values. Okay, and you can even check, okay, what is the data type of a particular object in JavaScript by just writing type of. Okay, there's an inbuilt function in JavaScript that basically tells you the type of a particular object in JavaScript. Okay, it tells you the type of a particular object in JavaScript. So okay, again and again people are asking why the name Suji is being shown. I think so you guys missed an entire part of the video. Please pay a lot of focus upon that, guys. We created a variable when we were learning about variables. We created a variable called as name, and then we saved the prompt inside of it. Whatever the input that the user was giving, we saved it inside of that particular variable called as name. The prompt, the input that I gave was Susie, so the word Susie was saved inside the variable. Okay, like I said, if you're missing on a single point, then you will not be able to understand it further on. Okay, Shubhajit, Dev, that's absolutely clever. Okay, data types, numbers, strings, and Boolean. We can use the inbuilt type of, okay, type of function in JavaScript. For example, I want to check the type of A. Okay, so this is the object that we want to check the type of, the data type of this particular object. We can use the inbuilt function type of, and as you're able to see, the type of the A is string. Similarly, you can check the type of, let's say, 2. Okay, is number. The type of 2.5 is also number. The type of true is Boolean. Okay, and the type of false is also Boolean. So you are able to check the type of any object present in JavaScript as well. Okay. Okay, they are asking who is Susie. Okay, I'm so sorry. Novesh Dhakka, I was not able to see your question, Novesh. sir, how do I get the console in Android? On Android, you won't be able to get the console. Okay, so Novesh, you will have to wait for at least till tomorrow. Okay, from the day 3, you will be able to do all the coding on your mobile phone. For the day 1 and day 2, it won't be possible because you won't be able to open up the console on your Android device. Okay, I hope that that is something that I've answered for you guys. Okay, why false is appearing 2 times? Where false is appearing 2 times? Okay, I've written false, so that is what I have coded, and it has just returned false to me. So that's none of, like, you don't have to understand it. Okay, shit, man, I don't have a daughter. Okay. Okay, so we will learn about functions from tomorrow. This was the basics of JavaScript that I wanted you guys to know. From tomorrow, we are going to start off with functions. Okay, so it will be very easy, guys. Don't worry about it. And yeah, on the day 5 of our bootcamp, we'll be learning about like how to become a full stack web developer, backend web developer, what are the different technologies that you need to learn, and all those kind of stuff. Okay, so now I'll like help you guys meet Susie as well. Susie. So she is the CEO of this company, the Chief Entertainment Officer. Okay, and yeah, she's all like she's the breadwinner for our company itself. Hey, come here. Come, and don't worry, don't worry. Oh, to everybody. Say hi to everybody. Want to say hi? Don't lick me. Don't lick me. So hi, hi everybody. Okay, go, go. Okay, so she was Susie, the CEO of our company. Okay, so yeah, she's cute. She's usually very quiet. Okay, I like that about her, so that I'm able to work as well. Okay, so yeah, there was some entertainment for you guys as well. Okay, so that was about Susie. Let's now focus upon the certificates and the attendance and all those kind of stuff. Okay, okay, so let's get it started. Okay, first you need to understand about the 3 certificates. There are 3 certificates that are there. The first certificate is from DevTown. The first certificate is from DevTown. We have already showed you these certificates as well. Okay, if you want to see them again, I will have to open up LinkedIn once again. So of course you can connect with me on LinkedIn. My name is Shaura Sinha. Okay, so you can definitely connect with me on LinkedIn as well. It will be great to talk to you guys as well. Okay, so this is the DevTown certificate. Let me just open this up on a new tab. This is the DevTown certificate, as you are able to see. So this certificate you will be able to get at the completion of the boot camp, okay, via DevTown. Okay, so now as you're able to see this certificate is only given to those students who have the complete 7 days of attendance. Okay, 7 days of attendance, complete 7 days of live attendance. Only those students are able to get the DevTown certificate. Okay, how I will be taking the attendance, I will be telling you at a late, like after this entire certificate espionage. Okay, so that is first of all the DevTown certificate. The second certificate that is currently there is the Google certificate. Okay, so Google and Microsoft. So let us take both of them right now because the criteria for both of them is the same. So Google and Microsoft certificate. So let me just show that to you guys if I'm able to get it right over here. So this is the Microsoft certificate, as you're able to see. Okay, so this is the certificate via Microsoft and this is the certificate via Google. Okay, so these are the 2 certificates that are there right over here. Okay, you can of course update it into your LinkedIn, you can update it into your resume. So these certificates, so on the last day, that is the 7th day of the boot camp, we'll be doing a project. Just like right now I'm just coding and explaining everything to you, we'll having a project and I will be coding it live and I will be explaining you how to make that project and everything. Okay, so don't worry about it. We'll be asking you to submit that project back to us. Okay, you will have to create that project, the exact same project. So how the project will happen, what will be the time that will be given to you, how to submit that project, I will be telling you guys on the 7th day of the boot camp, not right now, on the 7th day of the boot camp. So please be patient. Those students will be having 7 days of attendance, that is 100% attendance, as well as the correct project submitted. Okay, correct project submitted. These students will be getting the certificate via Microsoft as well as Google. Okay, only those students will be getting the certificates via Microsoft and Google. Again, there is no cost associated with this boot camp. None of the certificates have any cost associated with them. Everything is free. Everything is free. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, so that is why we created this entire DevTown. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. We are able to understand. We want to make sure that you guys are getting the taste of these technologies via these boot camps. Okay. Yeah, so one more thing, guys. Like I said, this is a YouTube video. Okay, if you are going on our channel, okay, try to explore our channel as well. There's a lot that we are currently doing on our channel. So as you're able to see, if you go into videos, every single bootcamp that I've conducted up till now, okay, every single bootcamp, the videos are all available right over here. Every single video is available right over here. So you don't have to worry about it. Okay, videos will always be available for you guys. Of course, if you want to learn something new, we have created a new playlist for just our C++ concepts. Okay, so if those of you who want to start learning about the language C++ from the utmost basics, okay, from the utmost basics, you can definitely go through this entire playlist. We are continuously updating it as well. So right now we are doing it for C++ from the most basics to the most advanced. Then we will be doing it for Java, then for Python, then for JavaScript, then for C# and other languages as well. So do check it out. It's for free. It's available right over here. Okay. Are you guys able to understand about the certificates? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand about these certificates? Please do let me know. Great. The next thing that I want you guys to understand is about the attendance. Okay, about the attendance. Every single day I'll be showing you guys a QR code anywhere in the middle of the boot camp. Like I said, this is a YouTube video. You can pause the video, you can rewind it back, you can watch the video once again after the boot camp has ended. So you are able to understand how a normal YouTube video works. Okay, so I will be showing you an QR code anywhere in the middle of the entire class. Anywhere in the middle of the entire class, you have to note down the time at which I have shown you the QR code. Once the bootcamp is over, you have to go back to that time and then scan that QR code. I hope that you guys know how to scan a QR code. You can, if you are having an iOS device, you can directly use the camera. If you are having an Android device, you can use Google Lens, or you can even use like some third-party application to scan a QR code. So you can definitely do that to be able to scan the QR code. It will open a Google form. Every single day you will be having a new Google form. Okay, that Google form, you have to fill it up with the same email ID. Whatever email ID you are using to fill up the first day attendance, you have to use the exact same email ID for the rest of the entire days as well. Every single day you will be getting a new QR code that you have to sign anywhere in the middle of the class itself. Okay, you will have to, once the class has ended, you have to just pause the video, go back, watch the QR code again, scan it, fill up the Google form to be able to fix your attendance. Please use the same email ID to do that. Okay, please use the same email ID to do that. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Shubhajit, we don't provide links because it's easily shareable while within the students. Just think about it. You guys are coming up every single day to the boot camp. You're doing so much hard work. You're going through the entire video. You're learning a lot. And now a secondary student who is not doing shit is also able to get his hands on the link, and he's also able to get the certificate. Now, due to that, the value of the certificate goes down. If the certificate is only given to those students who have the right knowledge, then that certificate has a lot of value. Okay, that's Susie just made the entire table go bonkers. Hey, Jaldi, come to her. Okay, so then that certificate will not contain any value to it. Okay, that certificate will not have any kind of value given to it, because the reason for that is extremely simple. Okay, because everybody is getting that certificate, then how will it contain value? You need to make sure that only you guys are able to get those certificates. Those who are giving and learning, only then that certificate will have a lot of value on your resume. Okay, so that is the second thing. Okay, are you guys able to understand up till here? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand up till here? Please do let me know, guys. Okay, great. Amazing. So the second thing that I want you guys to understand is a bit intro about DevTown as well. So we started DevTown last year with just one thing in mind. So I was in college, I didn't had a lot of like mentorship. Okay, I went into the wrong rabbit hole and then like started learning every single thing, and it wasn't required for me. Right now, interviews for different companies has become literally like JEE Mains and Advanced, a competitive exam. Okay, you need to be prepared for that exam itself, and that kind of mentorship wasn't available for me. So when I came into like the industry, I learned about different stuff. I took up hiring drives as well. I came to know about a lot of different things, and I decided that it's time for me to give back to the community that I've built, to give back to the community that gave me a lot. That is the reason why we started out with this entirely non-profit organization called as DevTown. The only thing, so we conduct these free boot camps, we have webinars, we have many more things from August that have been planned for you guys, hackathons, events. We will be bringing in people from other companies like Microsoft and Google, sharing their preparation strategies, resumes, and everything, that you guys are also able to get into those companies. So we have planned a lot of things for you guys, and everything that we are doing it as a non-profit organization. So in the morning, I'm having my office. So I'm also a software engineer. So in the morning, I'm working on my ML models and everything. Then I come back at home at 5:30. Then I have these boot camps from 6 o'clock to 7:30, and then from 8 o'clock to 9:30. Then I have another class after that. So I've taken some classes after that as well, some personalized tuition classes for students, and that goes on from like 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the night. So I usually don't get enough time, but I think so it's my duty to help you guys out as much as possible. And that is the reason why we created DevTown. The only thing that we want from you guys is your love and support, and nothing else. We never ask for any kind of money. We never ask for anything else as well. The only thing that we want to do is to create a great community of students from entire the globe who are able to come together at a particular point of time and learn from each other. Okay, so that is the reason why we have created this entire YouTube channel, the Discord channel, the Instagram channel, the LinkedIn channel, and so on and so forth. The only thing that we request from you guys is your love and support. You can, like, I will definitely encourage you to like the video as well. So right now we are in talks with Postman, we are in talks with Amazon, as well as Facebook user groups, to be able to bring you guys more number of certificates. To be able to do that, we need to show them that whatever we are doing right over here, whatever teachings, whatever events, whatever boot camps that we are doing here, students really appreciate that. Students want to see more content like that. Students are getting benefited due to that. So I am only able to showcase these to these companies if and only if they are able to see that the students are interacting with us as much as possible. That's it. So please do like the video and subscribe to the channel, guys. Like I said, these matrices, although it does not help us anywhere with YouTube anyhow. Okay, for YouTube, like the last month we got like 10,000 rupees. Like it's like I'm paying my designer more than that. Like my designer gets paid like 50,000 rupees. So it's not something about earning money, but it's about something so that, see, inherently it will help you guys itself at the long run. You guys, I will be able to approach more companies, more certificates, more number of boot camps, better instructors will be able to come through your way. So the only thing that I want from you guys is your love and your support. Just do like the video. It takes up a minute. Okay, there are 2,400 people live along with us right now. Okay, if you thought that the class was good and you enjoyed throughout the class, it will take a minute to just scroll down and just like the video, subscribe to the channel, and just come back up. Less than a minute actually. Okay, so yeah, yes, we will be conducting boot camps on Java, C++, data structures and algorithms, computer vision, deep learning, machine learning, cyber security, IoT. So there's a lot that we have planned up for you guys, and that will only be possible if you guys are able to show your support towards the cause as well. Okay, the next thing that I wanted to you guys to know about is the Instagram channel that we have created. You guys, the link for the same is down in the description of the video itself. Every single day we are putting up some important things that you guys need to know. Okay, of course I'm an anime weeb, so yeah, anime is something that is quite popular right over here. Every single day we'll be giving you bits and pieces of information so that you are able to learn on the go, like small step at a time. Every single day just devote like 5 minutes of your time, just take up a post and read it throughout thoroughly. There's a small question at the end as well. Try to answer those questions in the comment section of the post. Okay, so we have the KBC time in every single post that is there, so you guys can definitely do that. For example, JavaScript cheat sheet. So this is a post where you'll be able to learn a lot about what are the different variables in JavaScript, data types in JavaScript, how the arrays and functions basically works, if else statement, and again a KBC at the end. So you can definitely learn a lot from here. We also try our best to keep it light and like enjoyable. So we put up some memes like this. So he's probably thinking about our other girls, why the attendance thing for the day 7 is not working. So we try to make sure that you guys are able to have fun as well as gain a lot of knowledge at the same point of time. So the link to join the Instagram page is down in the description of the video itself. You guys can directly connect with me. So DevTown basically follows just 3 people right over here. So you can just follow me as well on Instagram. I'm also there. So my name is Shaurya Sinha. So you can definitely connect with me as well. It will be great to be able to connect with you, have a nice talk if you guys are interested with the same. If you guys have any questions, do let me know. I will definitely help out with that as well. A fellow weeb also detected, man. Okay. I'm a huge anime fan, to be a matter of fact. So I try my best to take up TV series and catch up with everything that you guys are basically doing, so that I'm also able to relate and have some jokes into the boot camp. So I will just create the QR code for today. Give me a second, guys. After that point of time, if somebody wants to, sir, reply, sir, I think this is a fake certificate. Wow. So those who think that it's a fake certificate, anyhow, you are welcome to approach us on LinkedIn. Okay, directly message me on LinkedIn. I will send you guys the MOU that we have signed. Okay, with the, Google as well as Microsoft. I'm open to share the MOU. So whenever you guys think that, okay, like this particular person is sending a certificate via IIT Bombay, like is this even legit or something like that? Every company, whenever they are doing like certificates via different companies, they have to sign something called as MOU. Okay, so just ask them for that. Okay, it is their legal obligation to be sharing that with you guys. Okay, so if they are not able to share it with you, that means that there is something wrong with that. Okay, so definitely, like, I'm always open with that. I would never jeopardize my career over something short like a certificate. I also have a job. Okay, I don't earn anything from this. I have to go to a job and do something. Okay, so yeah. My LinkedIn ID, just search for Shaurya Sinha, you will be able to find it. Okay, so this is my LinkedIn profile, as you're able to see right over here. So yeah, this is my LinkedIn profile. Oh my god, I have 29,000 followers. I didn't knew that. I haven't seen One Piece up till this point of time. Yeah, I'm very like, it's just too long. Like I watched Naruto, Boruto, Shippuden. I watched all the 3, but like, just like One Piece just looks too big for me. I will definitely try my best, but okay, let me just create the attendance form for today, guys. It will take me a second or two. Yeah, I'm just creating the attendance QR code for today. Like, it will take me a second or two. I will be sitting right over here. Okay, don't worry. DBZ, I think the DBS was better, is better. Okay, the Moro arc that is going to start right now, that will be something of a legend itself. I think so. Okay, let me just create the attendance link right over here. Change it to day 1. Okay, so I'm including one more thing right over here, that is the feedback form. Okay, if you guys want, you guys can definitely fill it as well. I don't know where it went. I'll just put it up at the very end if you guys want it. Feedback. I'm not making it compulsory, so like it's totally up to you. If you want to provide a feedback or something like that, it will totally be extremely great, because whatever feedback that you guys are giving us, on the basis of that I will be able to do something in the future. Definitely a feedback is very important. Okay, let me check if the link is working or not. Send link, copy QR, code generator, Control V, download, day 1 July. Where to scan QR? Okay, so you can use your Google Lens. You can use your, if you have an iOS device, then the camera itself directly. You can use any third-party apps. You can download it to scan the QR code. It would be very easy from right over there. Okay, DevOps and Cloud Computing Bootcamp will definitely try to do that. Okay. Right, I wanted to go and watch the new Thor and Love and Thunder movie today, but man, these boot camps are killing me. I'm not able to do that. Okay. What about One Punch Man? Amazing. Oh, like I thought it was overrated, but then I started like reading through the web comics as well as the manga, and man, the right now in the comics, it's in manga, it's going absolutely beautiful. Okay, so yeah. Arigato, Rohit. Okay. Can we get the Disney clone bootcamp back? So the next bootcamp that we are going to have is a good bootcamp. The HTML, CSS, JavaScript, creating your own personal portfolio. So we are coming up with a new bootcamp right over there. I think so you guys will be able to understand a lot. You'll be creating your own personal portfolio right over there. Okay. Anybody who gives me, okay, anybody who gives me a spoiler for the movie, I'm going to kill that particular person. Okay. Fairy Tail, I started watching it, but I thought it was very overrated. Right now, I just finished up with Dr. Stone, Tokyo Revengers, as well as the Irumakun Demon School. So these are the 3 that I finished up recently. Okay. For those who are not able to scan it, okay, please just like dude, I don't even have the words to say it. Like, just Google it, for fuck's sake. Just Google it. Okay. How about AOT? Finished up with that from the manga as well. AOT is also like Attack of Titans. Okay. Bleach, I plan to watch it. Till now, I've not done it, but I will definitely do that in the future. Again, for those who want to connect with me, can connect with me on LinkedIn or Instagram. But anyhow, do follow DevTown on Instagram as well. It will be great to bring all the people on one platform and to be able to interact with you guys. Do give us a follow, like, and a subscribe. Okay. So we will meet tomorrow again. Okay. Of course, Susie won't be able to come to every single boot camp because she's the CEO. She's a very busy person. Okay, so but we will definitely try our best to meet someday. For those who are in Bangalore, I live in Bangalore. It will be great to meet you guys someday if you guys want. Okay, okay. So and if you guys want any type of suggestions, which TV series, movies, anime to watch, the go-to guy. Okay, okay. Thank you so much, guys. Demon Slayer, of course, man. Amazing. I even have the, I collect let me just show it to you guys. My hero fans, like I like to collect some of the anime action figures as well. So I have the Shigaraki from My Hero Academia and Midoriya from My Hero Academia as well. I have others as well. For DBS, I have Demon Slayer. I have from Attack of Titans. I'm planning to increase my collection a bit more. Zenitsu, Jinu, I have all those. Like I want to increase my collection, but yeah, my mom is like, "Are you a kid? Like you are going to get married, and what are you doing? Blah blah blah." I'm like, These are not toys, man. These are action figures. Okay. Bakugo, of course, man. Bakugo is amazing. There's no doubt in that. Okay. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. It was great to connect out with you guys. We'll definitely try to meet you guys as well as soon as possible. Maybe I will be coming to your college someday if I get time, or maybe you are coming to Bangalore. We will definitely catch up. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you.